Good afternoon, students. Our today's topic is estimation of magnesium ions of the soil by using complexometric titration. So first of all, I am coming to the principle of estimation of magnesium content of the soil. So estimation of magnesium content of the soil can be done by first determining the total amount of calcium and magnesium ions present in the soil. And how is this done? This is done by titrating the given soil solution or soil extract against standard solution of EDTA using Eriochrome black tea as indicator. And this titration is carried out, that is, for the simultaneous determination of calcium and magnesium in the presence of ammonium chloride ammonia buffer, which is having pH approximately equal to 10. And then the amount of calcium present in the soil is determined by titrating the given soil extract or given soil solution against EDTA in the presence of muroxide indicator and 1 normal sodium hydroxide solution. The purpose of using sodium hydroxide is that it precipitates the magnesium present in the soil extract in the form of magnesium hydroxide, which is having formula MgOH twice. Therefore, when we titrate this soil solution in the presence of NaOH against EDTA, then only calcium reacts with the EDTA. Hence, we can determine the amount of calcium present in the soil extract. Then by subtracting the amount of calcium present in the soil extract from the total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil extract, we can determine the amount of magnesium, or I can say magnesium ions present in the soil. And this is the chemical equation for this reaction. When we titrate mixture of calcium and magnesium present in the soil, then they will react with EDTA, which I have represented by H2Y2 negative. So calcium 2 positive on reaction with diasodium salt of EDTA, H2Y2 negative will form calcium EDTA complex, which will be having 2 negative charge and 2 protons will be released. Similarly, magnesium will also react with diasodium salt in the presence of with EDTA, diasodium salt of EDTA, to form Mgy2 negative plus 2 protons. But this is the equation for first titration, means that is for the simultaneous determination of, or total determination, total content determination, that is total content of calcium and magnesium ions in the soil. And in the second case, there will be no magnesium, as we will precipitate that by using NaOH. So only calcium will react. So for the second titration, equation will be only this one, first one. Whereas for the first titration, both the equations will be applicable. Next are the reagents. What do we require? We require standard solution of EDTA. Standard solution means whose concentration or strength or normality or molarity, we can use any term. Standard mean whose concentration is known. Now concentration we can express either in grams per liter or in terms of molarity, normality, etc. So suppose I am using 0.01 molar EDTA solution, so it becomes a standard because I know its concentration. Then I need ammonium chloride ammonia buffer solution, and purpose of this buffer solution is to maintain the pH, and it should have pH of 10. And how it is prepared? It is prepared by dissolving 7 grams of ammonium chloride in 57 ml of ammonia and then diluting this solution to 1 liter by adding rest of water. So when we dissolve 7 grams of ammonium chloride in 57 ml of ammonia and make the total volume equal to 1 liter, then this solution is having pH equal to 10. And we also need idiochrome black tea indicator. So for simultaneous determination of calcium and magnesium, we need ammonium chloride ammonia buffer as well as idiochrome black tea. And for the second titration, that is for the determination of calcium, then we will need one normal NaOH solution, or we can use 1 molar term also, because one normal and 1 molar solution of NaOH are similar, they are having same concentration. So this will be having pH equal to 12, and we will need Muroxide indicator. Muroxide is used for the titration of calcium using EDTA, and this 40% ethanol and 1 molar ammonium acetate solution are needed for the preparation of soil extract. And the preparation of procedure for preparation of soil extract is similar that we discussed in the determination of the calcium content in our previous lecture, although I have given or mentioned the procedure here again for the convenience of those who missed earlier. So for processing the soil, we need to take soil, known quantity of the soil, and we dissolve it in 40% ethanol and shake the contents and allow the soil to stand for 10 minutes. Then we filter that by using Whatman filter paper and wash the soil residue 2-3 times by using 40% ethanol, and we collect the filtrate. Then we transfer that soil residue into another beaker and we add ammonium acetate solution and shake the contents and leave it undisturbed for overnight. Then we again filter the second installment of residue. I mean to say, one is filtrate, another is residue. So residues which are processed by using ammonium acetate are filtered again by using Whatman filter paper using a Buchner funnel, and we collect the filtrate and then we mix both the filtrates. So this is labeled as soil extract. So next is the determination of calcium and magnesium. So as I told you, we will need to do 2 titrations. First one is for the determination of total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil extract, and second one is to determine the amount of only calcium present in the soil, not the magnesium. So if we determine total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil and also independently the amount of calcium present in the soil, then the difference of the amount of calcium and magnesium and calcium alone gives the amount of magnesium present in the soil. So first of all, I am discussing titration for the determination of total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil. So what we will do, we will take a burette and we'll rinse it with EDTA solution. So I can say that we need to rinse and fill the burette with standard solution of EDTA, and we will pipette out 20 ml of soil extract solution in a titration flask. Then we will add 4 ml of ammonium chloride ammonia buffer to maintain the pH, and then we will add 4 to 5 drops of indicator to the titration flask. When we will add idiochrome black tea indicator to the titration flask, we will get wine red color. Why we will get wine red color? Because in idiochrome black tea will form metal indicator complex. This metal indicator complex of idiochrome black tea is having wine red color. Then we will note the initial reading of the burette and start titrating this solution against standard solution of EDTA from the burette, till the color of the solution changes from wine red to blue. When we get the blue color with the single drop of EDTA, our titration is complete. At that moment we will note the final reading of the burette. So difference of the final reading and the initial reading will give the amount of EDTA required for given volume of soil extract. So we will use that for calculation. Secondly, I am coming now to the second titration, that is for the determination of amount of calcium present in the soil extract. So procedure is same, only little bit difference is there. We will take the EDTA solution in the burette and will pipette out known volume of soil extract in a titration flask, say 20 ml. Then we will add, now when we are determining calcium alone, we will not add ammonium chloride ammonia buffer, but we will add 1 normal NaOH. So we will add 2 ml of 1 normal NaOH solution and 3-4 drops of muroxide indicator. Now in place of calcium we will use in place of Eriochrome black tea we will use muroxide indicator to the titration flask. Upon adding muroxide to the titration flask, we will get red color due to the formation of calcium indicator complex of muroxide. Then we will note the initial reading of the burette before starting the titration and start titrating the solution against EDTA solution from the burette till the color of the solution changes from red to purple. Then when the color changes from red to purple with the single drop, this will be our end point and we will note the final reading of the burette, and difference of the final reading and initial reading will give the volume of EDTA solution used for calcium. Then calculations. In order to perform calculations, we will need to apply normality equation, that is N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. Now on the left hand side I have taken soil extract and on the right hand side I have taken EDTA. So as I know the normality of EDTA solution because it is standard, so we are having value of, or we know the value of normality of EDTA. So N2 is known, V2 we will get from the burette, and V1 is the volume of soil extract taken. So we can determine the normality of the soil extract solution. So normality of soil extract, suppose it comes out to be equal to A normal, say. So and so this normality is showing what? This is showing that normality is what? Number of gram equivalents dissolved per liter of the solution, but this normality comes out due to the presence of calcium and magnesium ions present in the soil. So as normality is number of gram equivalents dissolved per liter, means in 1 liter, so I can say that N1 represents the number of equivalents of calcium and number of gram equivalents of calcium and magnesium ions present in 1 liter of the soil extract. Now if I want to convert equivalents into milliequivalents, then I will multiply number of equivalents by 1000. Hence I can write milliequivalents of calcium and magnesium ions present in soil extract, 1 liter of soil extract will be equal to A, as our normality comes out to be equal to A. So that was in gram equivalents. If I wish to write it in milliequivalents, then I will multiply it by 1000. So I have written A into 1000. This is in milliequivalents. So what is this? This represents the milliequivalents of calcium and magnesium. So in order to calculate the milliequivalents of magnesium ions, we will take the difference of milliequivalents of calcium and magnesium and will subtract milliequivalents of calcium which will be obtained by calculations of second titration. Now further, if I ask that how will you convert number of equivalents into weight, so you will say that we will multiply the number of equivalents by gram equivalent mass. Suppose I am having 2 gram equivalents, 2 equivalents of sodium hydroxide. So how much would be the weight of 2 equivalents of sodium hydroxide? Then I would say that as the gram equivalent mass of sodium hydroxide is 40 and number of equivalents is 2, so weight of 2 gram equivalents of sodium hydroxide will come out to be equal to 80 grams. So on the similar pattern, I have written number of equivalents multiplied by gram equivalent mass will be equal to weight in grams. Now if I divide milliequivalents per liter by 1000, now if I divide milliequivalents by 1000, then I will get equivalents dissolved per liter. Dividing milliequivalents per liter by 1000, I mean to say if I divide milliequivalents, means suppose this is similar to what, if I am having 1000 ml and I want to convert them into liter, so I will divide by 1000, so 1000 divided by 1000 will be equal to 1 liter. Similarly, if I divide milliequivalents by 1000, then I will get equivalents dissolved per liter. So I can write milliequivalents dissolved per liter divided by 1000 will be equal to number of equivalents dissolved per liter. And further, number of equivalents dissolved per liter multiplied by gram equivalent mass will be equal to weight in grams per liter. So by calculating the weight of calcium and magnesium or in grams per liter and independently that of calcium dissolved per liter of soil extract, and then taking the difference of the two, we can determine the strength of magnesium. So strength of magnesium in grams per liter will be equal to the strength of calcium and magnesium in grams per liter minus strength of magnesium calcium here it would be calcium. It would be, by mistake I have written here as magnesium, but it is calcium, so I am correcting it. So strength of magnesium or strength in grams per liter of magnesium will be equal to the difference of strength of calcium and magnesium ion minus strength of calcium ions per liter. So suppose this difference comes out to be equal to capital B, so our result will be in B grams per liter, say. So this is how you can calculate the amount of magnesium ions present in the soil. So conclude, we will first need to calculate the total amount of calcium present per liter of the soil, and also we will determine the total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil. Then by subtracting the amount of calcium present in the soil from the total amount of calcium and magnesium present in the soil, we can determine the amount of magnesium. So that was all about for today. Thank you.